How to start a siphon without sucking.
I'm Greg.
I'm Julie, and we're the Crafty Winers.
We've done 160 some videos, and we've never had a simple video that just showed you how to siphon or rack. It's the lowercase rack that doesn't include adding all the racking ingredients, right? It's just transferring.
Right.
If you want to get this lemonade into this pitcher without having to suck up the bottom sediment that's in here, how would you do that? I mean, you could pour it in there and stop before it got to the bottom, but you'd probably miss some, and then you introduced a bunch of oxygen to your lemonade.
And if you have some of our brews have that really fine residue on the bottom, it just starts floating.
It just floats.
Yeah.
So we usually show how to use an auto siphon. We're going to give you an alternative to that. So this is just a tube and doesn't require you buying really anything. You can get food safe plastic or silicone tubing just about anywhere, including like bar, restaurant, supply stores in your local town, most likely. But this is a blow-off tube, I believe is what we use this for.
Mm-hmm.
So if we want to start a siphon, there are other ways of doing it. I can put this into the lemonade and suck on it, but that's not very hygienic. And I would prefer not know that somebody did that with the wine that I'm drinking. Sorry. I think the saying goes that there's nothing alive in your mouth that the wine isn't going to kill. But I don't like to rely on that. And there may be other things that I just don't want to know about that are in your mouth. So I don't like the idea of sucking on it. So
story short, you can do that.
You can do that.
We don't want to.
Some people, we're not going to show you how to do it. You can figure it out yourself. So auto siphon is the easy thing, and man, it's hard to go back. In fact, I'm stepping back in time quite a few years now to show you how to do this alternate method. And it may not succeed the first time, and I may edit it out so you don't see it not succeed, but I'm going to show you a manual way of starting a siphon that doesn't require putting your mouth on there. There are other ways. You can force air into this when your siphon tube is in there, and it basically will force the liquid out through the tube. That's a way, and then there are ways that I wouldn't recommend doing, like using a vacuum to suck on this and stopping at exactly the right time. I wouldn't do that for many reasons, but this is a bucket of water, and what I can do is just submerge my tube, and this is even easier if you want to use a sink.
Yeah.
Because you can fill your tube up with water by pouring water into it from the faucet. But if you submerge your tube and you do it right so that the tube ends are down and force the air out a few times, what you're trying to do is fill the tube up with water. Couple dunkings. Use your finger to trap the water in there. So you see the level of the water on that one, maybe. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. But I just do this a few times, and eventually I'll have this tube mostly full of water. Again, it's a whole lot easier to do this
in the sink.
With a sink, but we're not set up to record over there. So I have this tube mostly full of water. It's 3/4 full, and that should be enough. And if not, like I said, I'll probably edit it out and you'll never know. So now I don't want to do that.
That you don't want to do.
I'm going to refill just that little piece. Okay, that's mostly full of water. So now I need to hold on to both ends and get rid of my bucket. So now I can either put my finger over the end, or a little bit more sanitary, maybe. I can pinch it. That's not going to let the water go out as long as I pinch it well enough. So the water should not come out of that. Very little of it does. So what we need to do is get rid of the water first. And we're going to use this measuring cup, sacrificial, we'll call it.
Sacrificial measuring cup.
And the whole key here, and might need her to help, is to release this, pinch it again once we have lemonade coming through. And there it is. I did it the first time. Look at that.
Look at that.
So now the tube is full of lemonade, and mostly only water went into my measuring cup. And then I pinched it again. So my siphon is technically started now. All I need to do is put this over, and there comes my lemonade.
Yay!
So that is a way of starting a siphon without using your mouth. And in this case, I was able to do it without, kind of sloppily, but I was able to do it without using a sink.
And it's not very hard.
It's not very hard. And you
it's
can.
pretty easy to do.
The worst thing that's going to happen is you might lose a little bit of lemonade in your measuring cup, and you would be able to see it more if it was red or like a wine color. But I didn't lose much that way. And then the other thing is, if you mess up, you could end up with water in your wine if you're not paying attention to where the level is. I'm trying to get this to go back into my, because I want to use this for the auto siphon. So that is method A that I would recommend. Again, use the sink to fill this up with water. Either pinch it or put your finger over the end of it to keep it from coming out until you want it to, and then just open it when you want the water to flow. So there's lemonade from the siphon. The much easier way is using an auto siphon.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start using one of these, they're not expensive. And once you have one, it's really hard to go back.
Yep.
So this end goes into your source drink. Keep it high so that you're not sucking up what's at the bottom, because you probably are doing this because you don't want the sediment that's at the bottom. And you just pump this up and down a few times until the tube is full of liquid, and then the siphon will keep it going. And you keep lowering this into the liquid. You want to try to keep it above the sediment that's at the bottom. So you just slowly make sure it doesn't run out of liquid, or your siphon will end and you'll have to start it again. But when you get down to really close to the sediment level, you can tip your container to raise the level of the liquid so that you don't run out, and you can get as much of the liquid as you can off that sediment layer that's at the bottom. So we're using 2 people to do this, and that's the easiest way regardless of anything else, because she can be watching to make sure, she can make sure that I'm not making a mistake and warn me if I get too low into the sediment.
Make sure this doesn't fly out.
Make sure that doesn't fly out. But if you're doing this by yourself, and a lot of times either one of us might be doing it by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I should also mention there are clips you can get that'll clip onto this, and we have a couple floating around.
I never have used one.
They're also nice for when you're doing it by yourself. That will let this stay at a certain level in the drink. It attaches at the top, and then you can slowly lower it down as it needs to be, and you can take your hands off of it, which is nice. You don't have to keep your hands on it all the time. It's pointless with a small container like this because this liquid moves so fast, but if you're dealing with like a 6-gallon carboy, it takes a long time, and it's nice to have the clip at the top keeping this at the right level. So those are nice. But what if you're trying to do this by yourself and you're doing it into a wide mouth jar? This is probably what you're trying to siphon into or rack into. Makes more sense than doing a pitcher most of the time, because you're just going to be putting this away into a fridge to cold crash or something else. So if you're doing this tube can easily fall out, and it can only take seconds for you to lose a bunch of liquid. So a couple tricks if you're doing this by yourself and you don't have a Julie helping you. One thing is to coil it around inside. Just make sure that you have used Star San on the outside of the hose. Obviously you've done the inside, but make sure that the outside is clean, because your liquid's going to be touching the outside of the tube. This is usually pretty safe to coil it up like that. It doesn't fall out very often. If you don't like that, and if you're using lids that have holes in them like this, I think on this one, a bunch of these I drilled.
I usually take the rubber thing out.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. And some of the hoses are going to be too wide to fit through there. These lids I actually drilled through and put these grommets in there. Some of the lids, like Fast Track brand, come with the grommets in there. Either way, either style, the grommets should come out pretty easy. And then you just have a hole, and you can feed the hole through and actually screw the lid on.
Yeah.
And make sure the tube is at the bottom of the jar. And this is actually usually even better. Just make sure you're not pulling on this or letting something else pull on it. And this is usually even better than coiling it up, so that you can just focus your energy and your attention on this side, and this side isn't going to fall out. It's happened before. Red wine, it always is red wine, where the end falls out, and it only takes like 5 seconds for there to be a gallon of wine on your floor. And if you don't have corgis that are there to help clean it up, it's tough to clean up, huh, Pippin?
Yeah, we don't let them clean up very much of that.
Yeah.
We jump right on that.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't.
But yeah, I've had it happen.
It's never fun when that happens, but these are a couple tricks to keep you from having to face that. So this is not rocket science. It's not hard. It's almost not worth doing a video on, but now we have. So we've imparted our knowledge on you of auto siphoning. And I guarantee it'll probably be at least another 10 years before I try to do this manual method again, because I have an auto siphon. We have an auto siphon. We have a backup auto siphon. We have a
really long.
We have a long version auto siphon, and we have a backup really long version auto siphon. So we're never going to have to go back to the manual method. But now, if you get into a situation, or if you didn't buy your auto siphon yet, there's a way you can get by without sucking.
Yes.
Because you don't want to suck.
You don't want to suck.
No.
Thank you guys for watching another one of our videos. Hopefully this was helpful. I know it seems fairly basic to a lot of people, but
It is.
But when we first started doing this, we didn't know. I mean, we didn't know the best way to siphon from one container to another. We just followed some directions on doing it the way he did it first. But I would have just thought you just suck on the end of it. That's how I used to clean the fish tank out.
Someday I'll tell you the story about how I drank half a gallon of gasoline because we were trying to siphon it out of an old farm tractor with a garden hose.
Yeah.
And yeah, sucking sucks.
Yes, it does. You don't want to get that in your mouth. I mean, of course, if you're sucking lemonade, it's not nearly as bad if you get it in your mouth.
It's a little more pleasant than gasoline and having to drink goat's milk for the next month to get it out of your stomach.
Ugh. Well, anyway, please like the video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And if you have, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for your support. And until next time, cheers.